Frank Cisco Show, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, my guest today is the Chief of Police from a police department just, I guess, south of Norristown.
Just a little bit across the line.
Yeah. You follow 202 south, and you'll bump into
Tredyffrin Township, other side
Tredyffrin.
of Upper
You
Meridian.
got to talk loud because my hearing aids over here. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, it's such a pleasure for me to interview this Chief of Police. His father was a sergeant at Lower Township and worked juvenile, and we spent many hours working together. Police departments would meet periodically and exchange ideas on handling juveniles. And then his father retired, and he became a court crier. I guess we'd call it for Judge Tressler, and he made a lot of friends. He was an easygoing guy, you know. He was real soft-spoken, but don't let that fool you, because here he is here in full uniform before he start working plain clothes. Anthony Giaimo, and his son is named Anthony Giaimo, and he followed his father, and now he's the Chief of Police in
Tredyffrin Township.
Tredyffrin Township. I always get that. But let me tell you, that's a good police department.
It is.
Really
It is.
all right, tell me something about you now, okay?
Well,
Talk out loud, man. Hearing aids.
I'll talk loud. My father, he was a huge inspiration. He got on the department in the 1950s, and he always said, just treat people well. Treat people
right.
treat people like family. Treat them well, and you'll always be okay. I said, I'm going to do this. So I went to school for accounting, and I got out. And
Did you go to community college?
Temple University. I went to Temple University.
I mean, you didn't go to Montgomery County
No.
Community College? Oh, okay.
No.
Because they're going to have a 50th anniversary of all the police officers that attended school there.
It's a very
And they're
very
doing-
good
yeah.
program there. They have an excellent program there. As a matter
Yes.
of fact, we use their police academy as well. Tremendous program.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he inspired me to get into police work, and I just logged my 26th year this month. So 26 years on a job.
Was that the only police department you ever worked on, or?
I actually was part of the accounting side of it. I was heading to the FBI. I got into the FBI and they moved me to New York. Didn't work well family-wise and things like that. I wanted here.
You got to live in a suitcase.
I like the community. I like here. So I got back into accounting, and then I made my way to Tredyffrin. He said, there's a really good police department. They're progressive. They do a lot of things, in a positive way. I said, well, you know what? I'll give it a try. And that try lasted 26 years. But it's been some tremendously talented people in policing. But
now, what areas do you cover now? What towns? Like Paoli?
Yeah, we cover Paoli, Berwyn, Stratford, Devon.
Devon?
Devon as well. Yeah,
the horse show.
Correct. Well, we border Easttown Township. They cover the other parts of Berwyn and Devon as well. But we have about 20 square miles that we cover.
How many?
20 square miles.
Wow, Norristown's only 3 square miles. How many men on the department?
Currently, we have 42 folks. So they're busy. They do about 27,000 calls for service a year. So they're busy. But I'm also the president of the Chester County Chiefs of Police Association. I'm also with the FOP. And, I can tell you that, the quality of police officers all through this region is tremendous. Yeah. We're lucky. We work very closely together, and we got a lot of good people, a lot of good people working together.
All right, now, how's your breakdown? Chief of police, how many lieutenants, captains, how's that work?
Our structure currently is the chief or superintendent.
They call you superintendent.
Yeah, it's kind of interchangeable, but my actual title is superintendent.
Yeah.
And then there's a command staff of 2 lieutenants. We have the next rank is the sergeant rank, then corporal, class A officer, and then patrol officer as well. We have a detective division. We have a traffic division.
Do you have a K-9 division too?
We're reinstituting it. We had 2 K-9s. We're reinstituting a K-9 as well with all the issues that we're having with drugs, especially heroin, just in this whole region.
Yeah.
We also have a community policing unit,
yeah.
which I rebolstered up and got a lot of support from my board of supervisors to reinstitute the community policing. It's very important to keep the community.
Meet with the people.
Yes, exactly. And what you talked about earlier with the other gentleman walking the beat. Our goal is to continually have contact, because these days, in law enforcement, we just don't have enough contact sometimes with the community.
I was interviewing a high-ranking officer from Japan. He was here doing a study about police departments throughout the United States, and he says whenever a new police officer gets assigned to another beat, he will go over and knock on the door and say, "My name is Officer so-and-so, I'm working this beat, anything I can do to help you, anything you can help me." And then, he gets to know everybody in his beat.
It's important. We've been very lucky in our area. There was a small group, kind of like a grassroots group that started. We start seeing signs, and these signs said, we honor the police department, we thank the police department. They were homemade signs. Yeah. And all of a sudden they became professionally made signs, and we're everywhere.
Right.
And this past November, they had a big blue tree light ceremony right in the middle of town. Right. But, it's all to, treating people well and having people, we're part of the people, and we have to maintain that. We have to say, we're here to serve and protect and do the right thing. Yeah. And that's what what's really gotten a tremendous positive effect from the community.
You just had a big case where there's 6 people.
The Felony Lane gang.
Six people were robbing, stealing car, whatever. Tell me how this all developed. And there was a long chase, policemen chasing 100 mile an hour.
We've been looking for the Felony Lane gang for quite some time. And a lot of folks don't exactly know how the name came about, but really it was from the banking industry. And what would happen is, when you go to the teller at the bank, there's usually a few lanes and there's a real far outer lane. Well, they would use that because it was harder to identify somebody, harder to see and things like that, who was actually at the window. They disguised themselves. So that was coined the Felony Lane as you're going through the bank. But these folks have been responsible for thefts, burglaries, identity thefts. The folks that we caught had a stack of cards on them. You could barely hold them. As a matter of fact, when you exit the vehicle, they went everywhere like confetti. But they'll take identities, they'll open up credit card accounts, make it miserable for the victims. So we were happy to come upon these folks, and 2 firefighters who were having lunch were the ones that keyed us in on this.
Yeah.
They were having lunch at a Wendy's, and they looked out and they saw these people doing things with a license plate. They were actually duct taping the license plates.
Stealing license plates.
Yeah, for identity, And so they had 2 vehicles. They thought it looked very...
Was it a citizen spotted them? Or?
The 2 firefighters. 2 firefighters.
Okay.
They saw it, and they called us. And as we pulled up to really ascertain what was going on, immediately these people started running in all different directions. The one car tried to exit the lot. As it exited the lot, it hit a police car purposely. And they were apprehended. And then what happened is then we followed them on the 202, on the 76, all the way to Belmont Avenue. We're joined with the Upper Merion. Like I said, we all worked together.
There was no shooting or anything?
No shooting.
No. Were they armed? Was any of them?
There was one subject that was armed. He threw the gun into the Schuylkill River.
Oh.
And
do you find it?
We got them all. We had we tried for the Philadelphia dive team. Yeah, but because of the swift water and the deep water, we did a bank search. We did some other searches.
You get it yet? Wait a minute. I got to give you something. We had that. We could have had that. When I was with Norristown Police, some guy, they says, Norristown, be on the lookout. There's a guy coming west on Main Street. He just robbed the place down, and so they stuck a guy up. So we picked him up, and he chased him, going down Main Street, and he turns left on Water Street, and he throws the gun out the window, and it goes in the creek.
Wow.
2 o'clock in the morning, So we don't have no diver. We call the Willow Grove. And they came, and then was too much mud and everything. So finally, we called Philadelphia. Okay, now we had all these divers and all that stuff. This guy comes over, and he had an electric magnet. He gets the thing, a ball, he throws it in, pow! He pulls it up. So maybe Call Philadelphia. They have an electric magnet. They'll throw it in there. It'll get it right out of the mud.
Yeah, so it's all worth a try.
I'm
It's all
telling you.
worth a try.
So we learned something. You
Sure.
know.
Oh, sure.
That's why each department can always help another department. You know.
Yeah, and I think more and more, we're the big group now. Before there was, every department was kind of on their own, and now we all work together very well. Chester County, Montgomery County, Delaware County, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We have regional groups. We just had a huge meeting for the felony lane gang yesterday at our building. We thought we'd get maybe about 20 people. We actually packed the room. We probably had about 70 people or so. There's more inner working these days because crime doesn't know boundaries, and it'll go from one place to another. And one of our suspects, for instance, in another case, you got a call from New Hampshire yesterday. They have him in custody in New Hampshire, wearing the same clothes that he was wearing when he committed our robbery.
Oh.
But it's just it's a bigger field now where people are they're not just committing crime in one area. It's regional.
Helping each other.
Exactly.
I think there was a lot of jealousy between divisions. Between the problems when Kennedy got shot or assassinated down there. There was the county police, the Dallas police, this police, so they're all, and in the meantime, nobody was in charge. Yeah. And then after that happened, then they have a unit that when in case the president gets shot or something, one guy takes over. He oversees everybody. Sure. Because then the Dallas police say, hey, we're. Then the county police says, we're, So that's what you had to.
Since 9/11, we've seen huge changes in the way we, work a command incident, so we use the NIMS, National Incident Command System itself, but even our inner workings with the fire department, emergency medical services and things like that has not been better. I mean, it's great. There's just from the time I started just 26 years ago until today, I just see there's a great deal of cooperation, professionalism.
Oh, definitely.
And it's great. It's a good change. So if something terrible of 9/11 could have brought something good, it surely did in working. So we work with the state, the FBI, Secret Service. Everybody interworks really well, which is a plus.
Yeah. Even in the department, I know when I was with Norristown, don't forget. When I started Norristown Police Department, I only had an 8th grade education. That's all you needed back in 1951. 8th grade, that's all. I had an 8th grade education now. But then later I got, went to school and I got the GED, I got an associate degree and all that stuff. But the experience on the street is something that, I mean, you need the education, you need the training, and you need the experience. The whole three. One without the other, you're a little stonado, That means you're only hitting on a couple cylinders. So now tell me something about yourself.
Well,
You were born and raised in Norristown?
Actually, my father, when he was on the department, we were in Ardmore.
In Ardmore?
In Ardmore, and then we moved around a little bit. We were in Delaware County for a while, and then we moved to Montgomery County. So I was in the Plymouth area.
Your grandmom had a store.
She had a store.
On Main Street.
She had a store on
Let's
Main
go
Street.
there.
Yeah.
Go there.
My Aunt Anna Marie,
nice
I remember.
Zeps, cheesesteaks.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you met me when I was a little guy. I remember the name. I remember who you were. And
Never cross when the light is red, the light is red. I said, go into the schools, But we had luncheonettes, we had restaurants, we had YMCA, YWCA, bowling alleys. We had everything in Norristown. Yeah. Now, so what I'm going to do is I just started a little campaign. Look at this. How about this? Where is it here? Let's make Norristown great again. I'm not stealing somebody's material, but we're working on it, I think that the most important thing is, I say, well, how are we going to make Norristown great again? We're going to start one block at a time, okay? We're only 3 square miles. And I remember I was a good friend of Frank Rizzo. And I go there, and he said, Cisco, he wanted me to run for mayor, so at the time I says, well, I like what I'm doing. He says, if you want to be a mayor in the town, you want to keep the town safe and clean. So maybe that's, Frank, we'll work on that, And another thing, too, is my Cisco show goes worldwide, So So you're going to take one with you, so
take
you'll
one with
hang it in your.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you
do
tell the guys in your township there that Norristown's coming back.
Yeah, that's great.
Left hand up.
That's great. Norristown's a great town.
Now tell me
It's a great
tell me about your dad. He got this. Got some book. This is fantastic.
town.
I
Yeah,
wish,
I
wish we could show the whole thing.
They called him Sonny.
But all these
They called him
different
Sonny,
write-ups.
And he kept all his things for the family, so everybody would know, what he did.
This is great.
And in 1957 he started after he got out of the army, and
Maybe I'm in one of these pictures. Maybe
you might be. There's a lot in there.
I
And
might
they
be
go
in
back
this
to
one.
1950.
I think I might be in this one. Where's? Wait a minute. See if I know who his guys are. Oh no, that's your township.
It's got a lot in there. You might be in one of
No,
them.
maybe some
You might be
school.
in one of them.
This Anthony Giaimo, Lawmern Township. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got.
And here
plenty.
he is. He's a detective.
But he rose to the ranks. He was a detective. He worked homicide for quite some time. He worked the juvenile unit, and he loved every day of his job. He really did. And
Here he is. Here.
it's his
guy
shooting.
here.
Yeah, he was involved in a shooting where a guy tried to.
What did this guy do?
A guy tried to kill his wife, and
He killed somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery County District Attorneys. Oh, there he is. Your dad's on the right-hand side over here. You got that? Oh. Yeah, I'll tell you. That is great, when you
Yeah.
can pass this down for your children to see this.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, and he was he was a Rizzo kind of guy. He was friends with Frank, and he was a tough guy, but he had a good heart. And he always said, people liked him in the town, and he said it's all about respect. And that hasn't changed today.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed today. It's all about giving folks respect, treat them the right way, and professionalism. And
Look at that.
and that's
Now,
some of his medals. He was always a big FOP guy.
Oh, yeah.
He made it to their 75th anniversary, which is great. They just celebrated their 100th
Where's
anniversary.
this? You got them over here. You got to get one of them, Rock.
Yes.
I'll get one over there. Here's his badge, the FOP.
Yep.
What's this? It looks like some foreign.
That
I
might-
know one
might
thing
be,
about the different foreign police departments.
Yeah, yeah.
They have all kinds of symbols and
do.
uniforms and all.
Mhm.
When I went to Italy, they gave me pictures of every unit they have, like the skis, the mountains, the motorboats. Really, and their uniforms are always
They are.
good.
They are.
Maybe because you got Italian tailors. I guess that's right.
Yeah, I was actually. I went to the FBI National Academy, and one of
That's
our
in Washington.
Quantico, yes, in Quantico, Virginia, at the and
Who was some? Pardon me. Who was some of the classmates that you were with? Anybody, local guys with you at that time?
We had,
the FBI Academy.
a few folks from the state police, Belmont Barracks. He actually has retired, and he's working for the Colonial School District now. A real good guy. Tim, I'm not coming up with his last name, but a real good guy. He was a captain with the state police.
I know Russell Bono was there. He went
Yes,
that.
he did as well.
And
He did as well.
Norristown.
Yep, a lot of these folks, and it's great. It's great training. It's great training. But talking about some of your foreign people, we had a lot of foreign people in there. One was an officer from Italy, and
FBI. Tell me what kind of training when you go there. What all that you really like? You have to do exercise, running, and everything.
it's intense. It's 11 weeks.
Intense?
Yeah, it's 11 weeks. Only about 1% of law enforcement is invited to go. You stay there the entire time.
What department within you got? You were
with Tredyffrin. Mm-hmm.
What rank were you then?
I was a lieutenant. I was a lieutenant.
Oh, okay.
I was a lieutenant, and went in 2010. We had about 260 people in our class from all over the world, all over the United States, all over the world.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And it's months. I mean, you're away for months, and it's a lot of PT. It's a lot of classes. You can take bachelor level classes, master's degree level classes. There's just a tremendous wealth of information. It really is, and it then assists law enforcement in bringing that, some of that additional knowledge and technology back to their home departments.
Yeah.
And it's a
That's
positive.
good. Yeah, I
It's
remember.
positive.
Commissioner O'Neill, police commissioner, he went, and and also Bono went, and I think another guy, Chantry, used to be with Norristown. I think he was one of the first guys ever.
It's a great experience. I liked it so much. I got involved with the group, and I'm actually vice president of the Pennsylvania chapter. Yeah, Pennsylvania chapter of today. So we just hosted a national convention a couple of years ago in Philadelphia. Worked out really well. But it's a great group as well. But as you see, law enforcement is more and more bonding together than they've ever been.
What do you think of the police departments today? You think we're on the right track, or we're losing respect, or what? What's the story? Are we the problem, or what?
I think there's different feelings out there on the street, and that's why I said, it's important for officers to get into the community. Let the community know who you are.
Yeah, right.
It's also very important, like my father always said, you always treat some people right. Treat them right. Treat them with respect. And, we've had people, when we arrest people, we have that many people that we consider to be quote-unquote evil, and we got other people make mistakes. Yeah. They make mistakes, they break the law, they make a mistake.
Right.
And we've had a lot of people come back and say, you know what, you treated me well, and I respect that. And they respect police officers, but if you don't treat somebody well, how can you request respect? And I think more and more places know that, but every day, police officers are from being on the job, they save lives, they do all kinds of stuff, and you never hear it, you never see it.
I know.
And that's the other part that needs to be shown, and a lot of places don't. We open ourselves up. We're pretty transparent. We're on a system called Crime Watch, for instance. It's you can download it on a smartphone and all kinds of things, but it's called Crime Watch Pennsylvania, and we post all kinds of stuff on there, everything that we're doing, and it makes sense because then the public gets a broader view of what we do. Now what, when an officer does something they're not supposed to do, we take appropriate action, and that's what it is.
If it's an honest mistake, it's a different story. But if he has intent, then you don't need there.
But
everybody's.
What is I think for officers is hurtful in many cases. Right. If I go out to California and I go to a doctor and he might not be the best doctor in the world, I don't come back to Pennsylvania and hate all doctors.
Right.
So we kind of get painted by the same brush across the nation. And from what I've seen from growing up in a law enforcement family, I've seen the sacrifices. We miss birthdays, we miss holidays.
Oh yeah,
we miss all kinds of things. I had one of our folks that worked up until 3 hours before his wedding.
Right.
His wife to be, she's saying, "Where are you?" He says, "I have to work." He says, "I'll be there." She says, "You better be here. You got 3 hours, and we're going to get married." And he did that. So there's a lot of sacrifices, and you have a lot of people that go into this business for the right reason. There are some that go into it for the wrong reason. They don't need to be in police work. But when you have so many people, you're going to have people out there that.
When I first started policeman, first couple weeks or month, we didn't have no uniform. Finally, we got uniforms, and I would walk down the street, and next thing, guy says, "Hello." I'm saying, "Well, I don't know this guy saying hello to me, but he was saying hello to that uniform, and and I respect the uniform I wore, and I expect to respect him for respecting me. But now it seems to be the uniform is a target. It don't make sense.
Well,
why? These people.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We've just recently we've lost a few officers. One in New Jersey, one closer, and it's unfortunate. But I've been out. I'll wear my uniform. And then I'll go on my civvies, and people don't recognize me.
Right.
Because you said they look at the uniform, but it's important, for law enforcement. We're taking very proactive actions now across the board, but it's very important to take the necessary steps to let the folks out there know that we're here for you. We serve and protect. Isn't for us; it's for you. We serve and protect you, and we're going to do the right thing, but. We have to keep that message going.
The half hour is over, and here he is. That's your dad right there, and you followed through. The chief of police from Tredyffrin Township, Pennsylvania, and it's been a pleasure, to be able to meet a son who follows his father and becomes a chief superintendent now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for allowing us to come into your home. Here he is. Your father, great guy in full uniform. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that heavy jacket. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for allowing us. And Chief
Thank you, sir.
Giaimo, thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Superintendent.
I appreciate that.
God bless you, and God bless
Same
your
to you.
police department, and God bless all the police officers, and let's all unite and be friends, okay? Until we meet again, God bless you. Adios. Thank you so much. Let's go. Ala salud. Give your help. Ala salud, right?